Evening, everyone. It's 7:08 on the 6th of April, and I'm going to keep this short because there's not a lot to go over. The markets were basically unchanged to up ever so slightly. The only thing that the big gainer on the day was the Nasdaq up 91.10 or 0.75%. Um, the Dow was literally up $2.50. Um, and the S&P was up 14 or a third of a percent. Um, the Russell was up $2.33, and the transports were up 51.80. So everything was pretty much sharply unchanged. Volume was the lightest of the year. I mentioned that in the last couple of days. Second half of the day here, it was Passover. It's ahead of a major holiday. Everybody disappears, which is fine. But what I want to tell you about is the fact that there are some futures that actually will be open tomorrow. In fact, they're open tonight. Talking about the bonds, and the cash bond market will be open regular hours, closing early, closing at noon. Bonds were basically unchanged today. They're down 5/32 right now. I haven't seen an open on the US dollar, but Bitcoin is down 10, Ethereum is down 1. So we're really not talking about much. The dollar, I'm going to guess that they're going to reopen the dollar in the morning regardless, because all of the other currencies, with the exception of the rand and the Russian ruble, um, are not open yet. Okay, the S&P down 2.5, Nasdaq down 16, uh, Dow down 26, and the Russell down 260. So those are open. What's not open is uh, gold, silver, so the metals, um, and energy is not open tonight. But I'm going to guess that those also will be open for a short period of time in the morning. None of the grains are open tonight. So there you have it. So, one of the things that always disturbs me is the amount of revision that we can see in some of these numbers that we really um, count on. Weekly initial claims. We were expecting 203, we got 228. That was versus last week's 198, except that last week's 198 has been revised to 246. So things were a little bit weaker last week, even though they came in what looked like sharply better than expected. Weekly claims, 1,823,000, and that was versus 1,689,000. But it was also revised from 1,689 to 1,810. And even though there was a drawdown in the nat gas inventories of 23 billion cubic feet, and a draw last week of 47 million, nat gas made a new contract low today at $2.01. That was down 14 cents. Most of the big movers in the stocks, well, they were kind of split around, although, 3.5% for Google on the upside. Amazon was up a little. Meta was a big gainer. It was hanging around, I want to say, 212. And as soon as it was actually down as low as 208 and change, but as soon as it went through 212, we went straight to 216, which is where we closed. We had a high of 216.94. So Microsoft up a little. Actually, Microsoft was up $7, which is 2.5%. Some of the others, though, like Netflix, was down 3.25. That's only about 1%. Tesla was down again, although less than a dollar. Nvidia was down. Pardon me, I take that back. Nvidia was actually up $1.55 after having trading as low as 264 and closing at 270.36 right off the high. As I said, Tesla was down a little, Boeing was up a little, Chipotle was down $12, but that really doesn't make much of a dent in a $1,700 stock. CRN, Salesforce, that was down 276 or almost 1.5%. And Caterpillar, which has gotten absolutely massacred in the last week or so. Friday, it was down 28. Wait, that was a weekly, I'm sorry. Friday, it was, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so the high this week was 233. The low this week was 207. And we closed at 207. Pardon me, 209. And on a weekly basis, as I said, that was a decline of 1984 or 8.6%. It's an awfully big company, and that size move is meaningful. We took a little bit of a profit on the first third of the CVSs. We also this week took a little bit of profit on the ESTE calls. They were down basically to nothing, and we sold them with a slight profit on the whole position. Anyway, I will be back first thing in the morning. The employment information comes out at 8:30. We'll know what is open and what is not, and we'll know that it's absolutely a short day. So I'll talk to you in the morning, folks.